Why is it doing that?
Your camera doesn't love you. You traded it in for a new one.
No, it got off my my HD webcam and went to the embedded cam.
The embedded cam, that one doesn't sound as much fun.
No, I know, that's weird. I don't know why it did that though.
Let's see if I can. I'm wondering.
Weird.
Weirdness. Let's see if I have a toy. I can't seem to. I've been trying to do these at my house before I go to the office. I have more time to get purdy. I don't have to sit in traffic. That's the good part.
Yeah, it's the traffic thing that's...
Traffic is killer.
I know, I gotta go straight up the spiral staircase to the office. It's terrible.
Let's see if I can get this thing working. I got this little device.
What is this thing?
It is called a chat light.
And a chat light.
It's supposed to make you glamorous when you're using your phone for those selfies.
Oh, is it one of the round ones or no?
No, this, oh, hello. Ooh. Let's see if that helps any. I just can't seem to find enough light in this apartment. Help any? Now that I'm blinded?
Yeah.
Too much.
There are filters for those, you know.
Ah, blinded. All right, we'll see if it works in well. I'll check out the video if it's any better. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to have any light. Whew. Okay, I'm not sure that is worth it, but that's okay.
Well, the good news is you'll get to do this and tan at the same time. It's perfect.
Too bad it's not UV. It's those pesky
I know. I'm kidding.
You're
so freaking literal. Just let me play. Let me have fun.
I got a new toy yesterday.
You got a what?
I had a new toy.
What's that?
And in doing so, I found someone who wanted to have their funnel built that was somehow missed.
Awesome.
The new toy is called LiveAgent. It's over here on AppSumo, one of those lifetime deals. I would definitely say if anyone is listening and they're wondering about buying it, I did do a very long review of it yesterday. I try to keep my reviews at 30 minutes. This one took about an hour and 20 minutes.
Sheesh.
I know, right? But that is because it is not what I would call a digital marketing 101 tool. It's definitely for someone who their business is growing and they're having a hard time keeping up with all the emails, the Facebook messages, Twitter mentions, stuff like that.
So what do it do?
It takes all of that. Let's see if I can get it. All your email, all your live chat on your website. It can do contact forms, but I've not played with those. It can even take your phone calls, so you can track, especially if you have a sales team or customer care team. It can take all that plus all your social media messages, and it puts them into like a ticketing system so that you can go through. See if I can go to my dashboard, and I can see that I have 99 things to solve. It'll clock how long you've worked, how many answers, how much time you spend on each. You can start grouping them together. So if somebody Facebook messages you, like I have one client with 5 different Facebook accounts, one for each store. And this guy messaged on every single store account on Yelp and by email. And of course, my client's not the return your messages type of client. But this would have put them all in one. Pretty spiffy.
Wow.
And then it rewards the people with badges.
Badges? We don't need no badges.
Yeah, we need badges. But I thought it was a lot of fun. And when I was doing it, I discovered
yes,
that I have like 3 emails from someone who was trying to get their stuff built.
Nice.
So I need to go in there. See, I resolved a few. I happened to look up a client. I was trying to find a client message and saw hers. So I need to go in there and work on it and make sure that everyone's in there. And I'm answering all my emails. It's very difficult. The only thing they don't have right now is LinkedIn. Man, if they had LinkedIn too.
Wow. Yeah, that would be
the
cool.
nice part is it.
So it assimilates it all and puts it in one place to.
It does, and makes sure that you get to it. And it lets
it
them
doesn't
know
create the outbound for it then, but it just makes it's just kind of like a fail-safe, like a safety net, captures everything.
It doesn't create automated outbound messages, but one of the things you can do, see if I can go over here, is you can create canned messages for both your like your little text box on your website and predefined answers for your emails. So I think this one had a good one. Create predefined canned messages. So here's canned messages. These are in like the chat kind of box in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
You know, can I help you with, where'd it go? There it goes. Can I help you with anything else? Could you give me your contact information? Feel free to contact us for more information. Do you have any other questions? How can I help you? I'm sorry for my late response. I will do my best to help. So all these little things that we say all the time when we're having a conversation, and you can add your own. These are just the ones that came with it. So with every company, you know, there's those answers that you're giving constantly at the same over and over and over again, right? So yeah, you can do that on your predefined answers, and then it also creates a what would you call it? The customer portal. A knowledge base. So let's say there's a question that people ask all the time.
Right.
You can type the question in and then type a complete, like almost like blog style answer for it, and people will be able to search. Have you ever gone to like frequently asked questions or a help box?
Yep.
That's what it builds for your company.
That's pretty awesome.
That is really awesome, and then it provides feedback.
So then it's a living, breathing document that it keeps on growing.
It keeps on growing.
That's way
so the
cool.
idea is, let's say if you solve a ticket or an email, that you would take that answer and add it to your knowledge base.
Right. Makes a tremendous amount of space.
One of the competitors, Zendesk, I think they were kind of on the forefront. There's Zendesk and there's Intercom.
Right.
Kind of an example. Here's everything. So this is the equivalent. This is $89 per person per month. And this product is $59 forever for 2 people.
Let's see, that would be better. I know I'm in sales, but that would be better.
Don't get me wrong. Like, this one's more developed, right?
Yeah.
But you just give this one a little bit of time and it'll be up there. And this one's not, they've been around a little bit too.
Well, I think the other side of that is sometimes people sit there and say, I'm going to go with one or I'm going to do whatever. And they don't really need everything it has. And they have time to grow with this one. Mm-hmm. So it's a great alternative.
Well, I'm big on tracking. Like you said, I'm going to be very literal. What gets measured? What gets measured gets done, right?
Right.
Something like, I don't like making cold calls or talking to people. I can sit there and say, I'm going to go out of my way to talk to people, to spend more, one-on-one interaction with people on the phone, like outreach, right? So not like, oh, schedule with me and we'll talk. I can measure that with this. I can hook up my voice over IP system and it will track my calls so that it'll say, you did an hour today.
That's very cool.
So that's completely off topic, but it was on topic because I found someone. So I'm going to try to be better about reaching out to everyone who's trying to get into double funnel so that we can help more people and start bringing new people on. And the hard part is they just got to give me their information.
Yeah.
And I might make that a little bit shorter. I mean, the problem is if you want somebody to do something for you for free, you got to give me the information I need to work with.
Yeah, hard to build what you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could build you a web page, toss some logos up there and some pictures, but if it doesn't represent you and your company,
Actually, I want to talk to you about that because Sean and I were sitting around chatting the other day, and it was funny how you all of a sudden get into a topic. We decided we wanted to help drill water wells. It's not that we just decided. We've actually been talking about that for quite a while.
Okay.
Well, we've got some tools and techniques, and we've got some products that could raise money. And every time it costs $4,800 to drill a water well. Water is life. So
where are we talking about building a water well?
Where people need it. I mean, there are many. No, more than likely not in the U.S. But the point is that the fact is water is life. So if you don't supply it, and it's really not that hard. For $4,800, somebody can go in there and drill a well, and all of a sudden, poof, you supply this water to a whole bunch of people. That's a cool thing, right? So we were just talking about let's create a page to start building water wells. Just a page, I mean, just on top of, it's probably an extra Kyvio page, like for the U+1 Foundation, right? Just an offshoot page. Yeah. Hey, join us in building water wells. Every time we assimilate $4,800 in donations, we'll drill a well. It's pretty simple, isn't it?
It is. No, but that's the nice part. I mean, it'd be on your URL and it's easy to do. So
right. That's why I just got to thinking about it. It's just one of those, it's like all this stuff. When you have systems in place, it's like, how hard is that to add?
It is. I do try to caution everyone to focus.
We are focused. We're focused on helping people. Back off. We help people. That's what we do. We want to do good.
Always concentrated help is better. Focused help. Focused help.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
If you don't mind today, I'd like to do a little work on one of my own.
Let's do it.
Are you cool with that?
Let's do it.
Let's see, where do I have?
In fact, we're going to put so much into this, we're going to take tomorrow off.
Well, that is kind of why I'm speaking tomorrow. And one of the things they want me to do is talk about my own process here. And so I would like to get it.
You might want to have it done before then? Is that what you're... What's that all about?
I know, right? Let's see what we've got here. So,
yes.
Aside from wanting to change things.
So what is it you want to do?
Mo clients. Subscribe. So one of the ones
is Mo clients name Mo? Is that what it is?
Oh, Mo clients. I want clients, all of them named Mo.
Perfect.
All right, so these are people.
That's actually one of my monikers. I'm the master of Mo.
Mo, master of Mo.
Yep.
One of the last surviving pieces of my old website. So I completely lost this review. I wrote this super long review for that, and it is just gone. Marketing.wp. Oops. Admin helps. I have a broken funnel.
Oh, that must hurt.
It's a little painful inside. I wrote this super long article, one that's 7,000 words.
That's a super long. That's actually a small book. Nicely done.
I should turn that into my book, shouldn't I?
Actually, you should. 250 words a page, 200 to 250 words a page. That's a book.
How many pages is that? I don't want to math. Can you math for me?
Divided by 4, 10. Hold, please. It's a little early. I can math for you with the help of this. 28 pages. 28 to 35 pages, probably was set up and different things, but you could probably, you could take and turn that into more.
Well, the book that I have a piece of paper here that reminded me the book that I wanted to write. I have it laid out. Have you ever read, I can't imagine you haven't, Jeffrey Gitomer's books?
The Little Red Book of Sales and the little Yeller Book of Closing and all that. Yeah. No, I haven't read them.
Haven't?
Of course. Yes. Of course I read them.
I love his layout, like the way his books look and feel.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. That in an alternative format from 6x9, I think that you could do some really cool niched books like that in a smaller format, which then is going to give you more pages, because I'm going to guess it's probably 100 to 150 words per page there, which would take your page count almost double. Right? So now all of a sudden it's 56 pages or 60 pages or 64 pages in lots of 8. So that would be good.
So here's my broken funnel. The first problem is I need to know where it's going. It's going to checklist download. So let's go 73 here and look for that. And I have it as a thank you page going to a webinar that has no offer. Isn't that cool?
Isn't interesting. Why would you do that?
4164. So this is my new offer for 1 year value, 4164. Pipeline is going to stay the same, but they should not be a cold lead. They've already subscribed. They should be over here. So I want to save that first and foremost so it goes to the right spot. And then I need for the thank you page to be one of the Kyvio pages. Let's go ahead and exit out of this. Your face is beautiful. Let's see, that's double funnel. Let's go over to warfare marketing. So the nice part about Digital Marketer Elite is that now twice a month they do these things called cycles. And they teach you how to do something hyper-specific in-depthly. So they help you build one bridge, right, on one section.
Nice.
And one of them was this article, was a really comprehensive blog post. And so I got the blog post up and I at least got something as an offer in. But at the time, I really didn't have something to plug and play it in because what I was offering was so custom. So here it is, I believe.
Well, don't you always have Business Growth Network subscription as a default?
Well, I mean, but it was not a specific path, right? Everything was custom. So if somebody reached out to me, I'd be like, hey, agency is the right way. Hey, you're not ready for agency, go this way. But I want, obviously, the agency to be the ideal path that I'm building, right? It's definitely the more profitable Business Growth Network is about helping people and sharing what, literally, like I said, I'm dumping all of my cold emails, all my swipe files, all those screenshots I take. We're reverse engineering some of the funnels that get my attention. Like if a funnel gets my attention, it's done something right. It needs to be, copied, right? or not copied, documented. And so in that regard, that's more about helping people and just sharing the information I'm already pulling and keeping for myself.
Makes sense.
All right, so I'm going to take them here. Disable name, first name. Okay, so this is not perfect, but at least that one is now, oh, so many comments. This is the downside of having a blog is all the spam.
Oh, people wouldn't spam your blog.
I know.
They wouldn't do that.
I know, never, right? And my guy comes in here on a regular basis, but sometimes it's just overwhelming. And the idea is you want to read through it and make sure they're not actual comments, which do come in from time to time. So there's one box complete.
Nice.
Wait, where's the rest of my article? Okay, there's that one. Ooh, you have different versions and different ways to get it. They all look different. Same list, but I do have to go through here and fix the funnel. And this is what I tell people too, like if you sit there and you figure out that the nice part about having a system is you can start to tell where things are broken at. And I'm getting a ton of leads and
Right.
I'm not moving them to make an appointment. So something is broken. And in this case, it happens to be I'm not directing them to an offer to convert.
Good catch.
So let's fix that. I'm going to a webinar. It's not live, and it has no offer. That's no bueno. And the system that this is actually built in that I'm editing right now is called Optimize Press. And it was what I was building my landing pages in prior. I mean, the nice part is that it does have all these little opt-in boxes, and we're actually going to replace that with Thrive themes because I bought it for another year.
So you're going from Optimize Press to what?
Thrive themes, I've had both for a while. I'd like to get rid of both, to be honest.
And what's their major task or claim to fame?
Well, Optimize Press, their big one was they did these little boxes I needed. So opting in people and connecting people with ActiveCampaign.
Right.
And directing them, get their information, put that in ActiveCampaign, start the pitch, right? But they also did membership sites. But they did membership sites in the most complicated way humanly possible. They slowed down my entire website, and for the longest time, they did not have support, which was terrible. They created a product and kind of left
none of those seem to be positives.
Well, I mean, the membership sites are probably one of the more difficult tech stacks in digital marketing, but they create the capability to have monthly recurring revenue for people who are in the information business, right?
Right.
So in that regard, kind of nice. And I needed a platform that was inexpensive to get started with for Business Growth Network. So
yeah, it makes sense. Well, no, it makes sense. That's why I think you're helping a lot of people who are on the other end because, again, entrepreneurs are pretty crafty. They might find something and somebody says, oh, I'm using Optimize Press. Oh, well, that looks like a pretty good tool. So they take after it. It really comes down to refining it and getting the choices because ultimately U+1 is a membership site or will be, right?
And that
so
is,
we can build that all through Kyvio, correct?
You can. Kyvio makes it really easy. Like, let me see if I still have it. No, I completely deleted it off of here because it was so freaking much.
Well, no, I mean, I don't want to go down a rabbit trail here. I mean, we can talk about it another time. But as an example, we've got a wish list license as well.
Yes, and so like to give you an example, if I go over here to Smart Memberships, what do I have? These are my products, and this is going to be changing here and relaunched in December in beta, February to the public. For those who don't know, tip. So it's going to be changing. So I would say like wait 2 months because the platform is completely changing. But you can sell platforms as a one-off, or you can sell it in a monthly recurring. You can sell a single product. You can sell it where you sell it as a single product, but it gives you access to like 60 separate products, right? It basically will make it as easy as possible for you to sell your information in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But things like...
Then we should probably target a January 1 launch, shouldn't we?
Maybe. That's a harsh competitive environment. I'm not gonna lie. January's.
Wow.
But you can come through here and...
did I say I meant February 1? Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, totally what you said. If you can see, it's just a bunch of little buttons you click to get it started.
Right.
Here's your sender information. It's crystal clear. They have things like, let me see, that's my, right
disclaimer.
Here. So, yeah, I stole it from my husband, the lawyer.
That's right.
But they have stuff like this so that you can easily put in custom information. So when somebody requests a password, you don't have to do it, right? Their email automatically shows up they use. The address to log in automatically shows up. But they make this part easy. Optimize Press did not do that.
Got it.
At all. You get to choose what information you want. Like, so I requested everything, like street address and everything, because I want the ability to mail them stuff in the future, like stickers and t-shirts and fun stuff. But it was just a lot easier to build out, and then actually building your membership site, which is something we can do on Double Funnel too.
Yeah. Well, that's really what we want U+1 to be, is a community that rewards, a membership-based community, that there's lots of free stuff, but there's also then stuff that's available. If they want more expertise, if they want masterminds, if they want coaching, if they want, dot.
One of the most brilliant lead generators I've seen advertised on Facebook was somebody offering the equivalent of what Digital Marketer offers now at $45 a month for free. Now, granted, they've probably ripped off all the information from around the internet. It was run by some guys in Asia, right? But nonetheless, they offered it for free. So, of course,
wow.
I was watching the engagement on the post. It was going crazy, right?
Right.
Here's one of the ones, but they got those because they offered free stuff.
Well, in essence, they got it for the cost of. It's so funny because I had this conversation over the weekend in California when we were running hot and heavy seminars and had 7 teams out every week around the country and everything. We ran about $700,000 a week in infomercials to drive those people into the events. And we got it down to $172 per person in the seat. And we led the industry by probably $80. In other words, the next closest company cost them about $250 to put somebody in the seat. Okay.
Nice.
So it's interesting when you've come out of that environment where literally the organization is spending $700,000 a week to put people in the seats to give you the opportunity to get the public to make the presentations. It's just called math at that point, right? How many people do you have in the seats? What are your close rates? What are your pricing? Boom, boom, boom. You just do the math, right? And so that effectiveness at $172 a seat was phenomenal compared to, we were $80 less than anybody else. Just think of the economics of that.
Right.
So it's funny when people they gave away a $45 thing. Did they? Cost them $45 to get a client. It's just how you look at it. I get they missed the revenue on it, but instead of getting the revenue, they got the person. And what's the lifetime value of the person? And most people don't think of that.
Most people can't even calculate with their standard, like how much they make at all, much less the lifetime value of a person.
Well, that's exactly it. So
this is old. It's so old. No, we're going to leave it there for now because it's done. Done is better.
Done is better. Done is the new perfect. I heard somebody say that one time.
Man, I definitely do need to go through here. Right now I have them getting an Evernote checklist, so not my PDF. That's okay. I'm not going to, today's goal, get the checklist. I've not made an offer yet. I don't have an indoctrination sequence, so I blended it in at the time. I need to have a separate indoctrination series. So let's go see what I have for automations. Any label would be warfare marketing. Need help. EPO one-on-one consultation. Delete me. Need help. Inactive delivery template. Interesting.
Interesting.
Oh, it is all sorts of broken. Oh, that's almost too much. Too much, too much, too much. All right, so this one is actually asking for a marketing strategy template, and I just put them in a different automation. They want a template. They don't want to talk to me. But here's the back end of Kyvio, the membership. So I can sit here and here's an example. I put all these cold emails, whenever I get them, and I grouped them cold email to a phone call. So depending on what you want to get, schedule page, blog post, lead magnet, video.
Nice.
All these different examples of cold emails that were sent out. Cold emails to in-person meeting. One of the ones we use. Pipedrive had one to go to an in-person meeting, follow up to emails with there's no response.
Here's what's really funny, believe it or not. You do the exact same thing, right? Let's put it this way. I do the exact same thing you do. When I see an email from somebody else, I'm actually on a lot of people's lists, not because I want to be on their list. I want to see what they send out.
I know, right?
Isn't that wild? It's like, that's pretty good. Or that's really not good. I mean, but it's funny. I do that, but you've got it organized. That's cool. That would imply that I don't have it organized. Let me just tell you, I don't. That's why I have friends like you.
Oh man, this funnel is so broken, I can't even fix it easily. 73-point checklist download is completely different. I think I replaced a list. And I did not replace deliver marketing strategy template. This is the sequence they should be getting. Yep. So I need another list. Marketing strategy for business growth network. Business audit scheduled. integrated funnel, contact us, double my funnel for LinkedIn. That's a cold email strategy, or almost cold. Or people were connected on LinkedIn. I'm testing out sending them in. Got 16 so far. Client doubling funnel, client growth funnel. Okay, so I'm going to replicate this list. We're going to copy it. Keep everything in it except the contacts. And edit. So basically what ended up happening is I have two different paths into the same funnel. One is downloading a 73-point checklist, and one is going to be a marketing, to my conform marketing strategy template. This particular article is written specifically for a marketing strategy template. So sending them the wrong lead magnet would be terrible. They don't want a 73-point checklist. They want my template.
Right.
Might be too early to pull that list. Sometimes it takes a while. Yep, I'm going to need to refresh the page. But this happens, right? Especially the longer you've been in business.
Right.
When you start talking about like relaunching and restructuring, you have all these pieces. And so once you get, I'll show you where we're going with this. The idea is that absolutely every single thing that I do ultimately is helping this particular funnel. Every lead magnet puts them into this funnel. Even like Business Growth Network, at some point, it's like a funnel before this one, is building them until they can get into this funnel. Every YouTube video is pointing to something that gets them in this funnel. Every Facebook post, ad, everything is pointing them towards one funnel, which is the goal, right?
Makes sense.
Otherwise, you're stretching yourself too thin. It takes a lot of time to create content, and you should think about that. You have multiple products, but they all take a lot out of you. So it's not going to let me change right now. It takes sometimes 5 to 10 minutes of lag, but I need to make sure that that's going to the right place. So awareness, these are going to be my cold lead awareness. You can also have ActiveCampaign trigger people if they hit your website. Which is interesting because then you can put them in a list to re-engage them with a Facebook ad, even though you don't have their email address.
It's a good idea.
You can like this blog post, one of the things that you can do is you can drop a pixel on it, right? Let's see if I can go view it. Preview changes. If somebody hits this website and they read it and they don't give me their email address, they don't put their little information in the box, I can come back and I can retarget them on Facebook and say, hey, would you like a marketing strategy template? They're obviously interested in how to build a profitable marketing strategy, looking for a template, because that's how this article ranks, is free Evernote template are the keywords.
Nice.
The whole rest of it is just to help me eventually rank for marketing strategy, but that is such an incredibly difficult topic on SEO to rank for. But Evernote template, much more easy. It hits a specific market that is internet savvy, right?
Right.
And you can start targeting them on Facebook. So awareness is done by search engine optimization. Engage is done with the blog article. You didn't get them to subscribe, so you have to go backwards, add some more engagement with a Facebook ad until you can get them to subscribe.
Very cool.
So let's go over. This is requested a 73-point checklist. Can I copy this? Of course not. Add a stage. We're going to go subscribe, except these people have gotten a marketing strategy template. We're going to make them the same color. Oh, I did have them in there. I feel like I've just moved things around. I did. messing my stuff up. My own stuff. So I'm going to move this one over. So I have two different phases. They could be in either one. Let's see, engage with a phone call. This can even take it further because that's more for the cold people. Convert scheduled checklist and download. I'm almost wondering if I shouldn't charge for this convert stage.
What is it?
A marketing strategy template. And so that's actually one of the things that everyone wanted me to talk about. I mean, either way, I still, blah, blah. I need to get them scheduled to come in, but kind of taking them to a micro purchase where they're paying for that portion.
Why don't you take them into a piece that then gets credited towards that scheduled meeting?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if I don't charge for it and be like, if you don't like what we've built, get your money back. If not, it'll go towards your first month's.
Right. That's what I'm saying, is make it an applied towards, in order to do this, it's a seriousness filter, right?
Yeah.
Are you really serious about it? Will you pay whatever the number is? $18, $38, $2 gazillion. It really doesn't matter what the number is, but it's to see if you're serious about this, because we're applying effort. Are you applying effort? So that, again, we're offering to build free funnels, right? And people are not supplying the information. Really? Part of that is because, they got no skin in the game. So if you provide a little skin in the game for it, and then say that skin will be applied to the go forward strategy. So I think you should.
I need to work out how I'm going to do it, but I can see taking people both from both of these.
Right.
Almost like if somebody doesn't purchase here when they actually show up. And you know what else I need is I need a didn't show up. Take them back to engage.
So that's a sorry we missed you?
Kind of, yeah.
I think that makes sense, which re-enters them back into the funnel 3 steps previous or something like that.
Well, you need something. If they don't show up, what do you do with them? You want to re-engage them so that they'll reschedule.
Right. So it's a bounce them back to earlier step, or, I mean, that's the logic of it, however you program it, but I'm just saying from a logic side, it makes sense.
So engage, didn't show up to demo, completed checklist demo, purchased marketing strategy. Completed checklist demo, did not purchase marketing strategy.
Yeah, it's whatever the possibilities are, right? You need a contingency for whatever. They bought, go this way. They didn't buy, go this way. They showed, go this way. They didn't show, go this way.
And then I have where they've won at the different levels, and that would basically trigger a new deal structure that would act as project management. And in acting as project management, it helps keep checkpoints up. So this is how your deal's going. Right. This is what's done. Here's your homepage. Here's your blah, 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 blah. Awareness, engaged, needs some help. This is an interesting email sequence. This needs some help. That's literally all you have to say in the email. Are you still interested in such and such? Need some help. Like 9-word email.
That'd be awesome. You get all the action buying types. You get all the people that don't like reading all the emails. And like, yes, that'd be the response. So it'd be a nine word coming out and 1 word coming back.
Okay. These are requested, scheduled checklist, requested 30, 73-point checklist. So on this, here we go. We'll go back to automations. The warfare marketing needs to be all about getting into an appointment. So let's edit that. Oh, that's right. So this is a lot more fluffiness than necessary. That's where I got stopped up. Break the fluff. So the nice part in here about ActiveCampaign as a consultant is I have a whole set of templates that are pre-built out.
Nice.
So I can come over here and just duplicate this and have my own. I don't have my own indoctrination sequence. I feel like this is terrible. I combined it with my lead magnet, which doesn't do. It's great when you're first starting out.
Yeah.
Not so good when you start getting multiple lead magnets. Let's see, business audit schedule, contact us, double my funnel. My general tips, that's my big list. Welcome email. Oh, look, it's even got the right picture up there.
Isn't that wild?
What kind of subject line do I want to use? Welcome to something company, here's where to start. You're in, now let's get started. I'm going to use that one. Go ahead and put
I like that
over.
one better.
Email subject headlines are weird. There's so much you can do with them. I actually kind of like there we go. Welcome to warfare marketing. Here's where to start. I'm kind of thinking of something kitschy. Here's where to start. Here's how to start. Your marketing battle plan. Not Business Growth Network. Here's a one that's always, who do you send the email from? I'm going to make this one warfare marketing, but a lot of times you'll get better response if you use your name.
Your name.
Actually, I'm going to use my name. I can send future ones from my company.
Right. Once they're in the, well, there's 2 schools of thought there. Once they've bought into you, then you continue to use you, or once they've bought into you, then they understand you've got an organization.
Exactly. And the personalization is easy. I should really just personalize my templates. First name, hi first name. My name is, look how easy this is as a template. What is your name? Enter your name here. I'm an Apgar, and I'm the CEO of
Warfare marketing.
Warfare. You were talking about that with some of the partners. What do you call yourself? Like if somebody asks you your title, what is your title?
Czar. That always gets them to smile. Seriously. I mean, anymore, it's funny. I say co-founder or U+1. Because the moniker, the monikers tend to get overused, and, it's something blah blah expert.
Yeah.
You know.
That's actually, I
So
hit mine. Mine is I hate CEO, Chief Warfare Marketing Strategist.
yeah,
It's not as cool as SAR. SAR.
Czar.
That word always confuses me. It's spelled so funny.
I want to be the chief humanitarian officer of U+1.
That's a pretty good one.
Yep.
I like, I can't remember who first did it, but they gave the receptionist the title of like chief officer of first impressions. Chief officer of first impressions. Basically, they said it, like they documented the difference, and it was like huge. They like started dressing nicer to work. They went out of their way to be nicer. Because it was really all to explain to them that you really are you're the first impression everyone gets of the company.
Yeah. Well, they would. It's funny. I was teaching out in California over the weekend. I taught people how to shake hands, and they go, "We can't believe you're teaching us how to shake hands." And I said, "Well, it's how many chances do you get to make a first impression? One. If you don't do it right, you're already behind the 8 ball. Why would you put yourself there? If you know this to be true, why don't you do something about it?"
Now, what do you teach when you teach people how to shake hands?
There's a whole process, believe it or not. I train on it in corporate accounts. I've trained on it for as much as 3 hours. No, come on, really, on shaking hands? Yes, because it's a process. It's actually how you step in. It's where your arm position is. It's where your hand position is. It's how you square yourself up. It's which eye you look into as you start. It's which eye you shift to after you've started. It's what you say as you do it. Why would you do that? Well, because you go to the emotional side of the brain first to make the emotional connection. Then you go to the logical connection with your name and the facts. Oh, yes, it's that intense. Well, why would you, if you know you can do this, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you use a process that is proven to work once you know there's a process that's proven to work?
I agree. I used to catch so much flack for my handshake.
I used to have a sales manager walk in and go, "Hey," right, and bring their hand up above their head, and it's like, what are you going to beat me? What are you doing, right?
I used to give the daintiest handshake, and I was okay with that.
Well, you are. They're not, but you are.
It depended. I guess it's one of those. Now that I'm older and more experienced, I think almost my handshake depends on the person. I kind of
that's whereas if you go in and you do what you know works and the reasons behind why it works, you will do it the same way every time. And again, you'll have greater success. Why do you create a funnel the way you create it? Because it works. So why would you not use the same order on the next funnel?
Don't be so logical, Scott.
Damn it, the logical side came out. I hate that.
So, 5 minutes, we fixed hardly nothing. But 3 tips. 3 tips on a great handshake. The 3 most people walked away with nothing else. 3 of the biggest aspects of a great handshake.
What are they? Is that what you're asking me? Well, first of all, you subordinate. Your arm is just ahead of hanging from your body. It's out at a parallel to the floor and at 45 degrees. Now, why is it at 45 degrees? Because it's a subordinate position. Well, I want to show I'm powerful. You got plenty of time to show you're powerful. You don't own somebody in a handshake, but you can turn them off in a handshake. So subordinate. Come in and allow them a superior position, quote unquote, from a body language side. Second thing is when you step in with your right foot, follow it up to the exact same parallel with your left foot. So you square up your body. That gives you a solid foundation. That solid foundation in body language represents confidence in there. And the third tip would be look them in the eyes. And actually look them in the left eye first as you're saying, hi, my name is. And once you get to your name, switch over to the right eye and let the logical side of their brain own your name. It'll help them remember your name better. So the hi, my name is with a smile is in the left eye, which is the emotional, goes to the emotional side of the brain, right? Because they're crossed. And then you look to the other eye to get
let me
the
ask you a question.
logic.
You say left and right. Is it their left and right, or is it
their left and right?
Your left side.
Their left and right.
Okay.
Their left eye, their right eye. So, but again, you're doing that to make a connection, and you'll help them remember your name better. And because people sit there and go, I'm terrible with names. Well, the reason they're terrible with names is because they say, I'm terrible with names. Nobody's terrible with names. Terrible with names is a choice. That'd be like you saying, I'm terrible with funnels. That'd be a choice. It's not true. But you've chosen to make it more difficult than it is. Every time you say, I'm bad with names, you're reinforcing the fact, okay, brain, be bad with names. See, look at what happens here on Double Funnel TV. The training bonuses are amazing.
And how much do you charge for that training?
A lot.
Oh my goodness.
I really, it's funny because somebody said, the training I did out in California, somebody asked, they said, this is amazing. I said, well, I had a company pay me $300,000 to develop it. It should be amazing. And that's the fact. So and once I know how to train that way, it's not like I train differently. You're getting the benefit of somebody else's investment.
It's true.
Right?
I've leveraged that in my own business. Somebody else, a client will pay me to come up with something, and then I'll share it with our Business Growth Network members after the fact.
See, that's exactly it. So again, we took the tidbits that I'm throwing out here took a company from 8 million to 100 million in 5.5 years. They call that a clue.
I'm going to guess that they did a lot of handshaking.
We did. We would literally have everybody come up in the front of the room, and they would have to do two things. They would have to do the handshake process, and I teach a module called 7 Steps to Building Rapport in a minute and a half or less. And so they would have to run that 7.5 or that 7 steps accurately along with the handshake in front of the room.
I like that.
It's the details that people don't, again, we're living in a society where, Jenna excluded, the vast majority of millennials aren't learning this stuff. Shake hands. Hell, they don't even realize they have hands. The only reason that they think they have thumbs because it works to be able to text. I'm telling you, millennials who desire to be trained can dominate this world because the vast majority are not focusing on that. I'd love to help them, actually, quite frankly. I think it's cool.
No, I think those are...
I like millennials. I got a couple. I collect them.
You collect them. I think it's interesting, all the things they don't teach in school. You would think back in middle school, learning a solid handshake would be one of them.
You would think learning the Pledge of Allegiance would be one of them. So,
On that note, my son is in 1st grade, and he just learned the Star Spangled Banner because they sing it in the morning at his school.
Cool.
And a week later, the teacher asked the kids to write a poem. Now, my house is the kingdom of technicality. We have an attorney. We have me.
That is such a shock. Let me let that set in for a second.
So, and my daughter is the one who really took it up a notch. We'd say something and she'd be like, technically. I had to ban her from the word technically, and then she was like, actually. And so all my kids are like this. So he writes the Star Spangled Banner as his poem instead of writing his own. He writes the Star Spangled Banner, and the teacher's like, well, yeah, because John was like, well, technically it's a poem. You did
Very
not say
nice.
write a unique poem. You said write a poem. Yeah, complete sidetrack there. But it seems like a handshake. You would think that I have to remember sometimes that school was created to churn out people who work in factories, not people who go out and create businesses and build wealth.
True. I mean, our education system is definitely skewed towards what society used to be. There's no doubt about that. But the reality is, unless it's going to be AI talking to AI, we should probably train a few of the people in between. Business is still a people business. It's a results business. We're all in the same business. We're in the results business. If we can't create results, there is no business.
Yep.
So that's what this little spurt of multiple speaking events and training events and everything has done for me is really encouraged me to train speakers and to train teams. I mean, I'm having a blast. I don't speak again until today in about another hour and a half. So
until today.
But it's just a blast, you know. So it's just that's where we need to take our funnel, you know, into the speaker hacks and into the training and into all that.
I agree. So I'm over here writing up the first email that gets sent out. I'm going to finish that up and a bunch of other stuff for my own funnel today so I can present it tomorrow competently.
Awesome.
But I mean, it's those little things. Like I have never had an indoctrination. My indoctrination was built into my engagement series. So build a funnel first, right? Build a bridge first, and then come back and start adding different layers. So now I'm going to go back and build out the rest of my full engagement series as it helps put people into my main funnel.
Perfect.
As everyone else should. So I hope that was a little helpful. We did not actually accomplish much at all today, but the concept is...
That's not true. That is not true. Let them be the judge that we didn't accomplish anything. Don't tell them we didn't.
Build a funnel, though, and then start directing all of your content, all of your resources, and integrating it into that funnel so that everything points back to the next step in that funnel. So everything supports that funnel. And then you can start adding layers on top of that funnel. So don't say a funnel doesn't work if you haven't added and pointed everything at it.
Good point. Perfecto.
And then when it breaks, fix it.
Novel concept.
Novel concept. And while you're at it, learn to shake hands because you're probably doing it terribly.
I just got an email asking me to speak. Isn't that nice?
Funny how that works out.
It is. All right. Knock them alive tomorrow. Knock them alive.
Bye. We'll try. All right. Thanks for joining.
Don't try. Do it.
This is true. This is true. Out of my own mouth. All right. You have a great day. Thank you for the tips on handshaking. I'm going to have to try to figure out the Daily Bopper. I think that was really helpful.
Cool. Well, next time we're in person, I'll show it to you.
There we go. All right.
Thanks, Scott. Have great. Do great tomorrow. See everybody Friday. Bye.